Here's a quick look at one of our most recent range projects, and I'll just tell you this is probably the 10th or 12th revision to this layout. We find that the display manufacturers will provide us with a layout, but usually, by the time that's just a courtesy sort of effort. They do not get into, nor does an architect for that matter. I've learned over the years. That's just not the philosophy of the retail showroom, the customer experience, and mapping out the journey through the retail space to the range. Once the range time is done, what's the process to check out of the range, and do you still have then another opportunity to sell? Those are not considerations that go into any depth or kind of advanced consideration. So in this case, what we've done is we got the main entrance from the parking lot, come through the door into what we refer to as kind of a decompression zone. So they're shaking off the weather and they're getting oriented to the retail space. They're wondering what's new. If it's their first time, we really want to try to slow them down so that they don't just barge into the space and miss half the products that we've got available for sale as they work their way to the rental counter or the check-in counter. We want to really, not in a forced way, but in a real natural way, create a flow through this space that encourages some shopping and some exploring and allows for some discovery to occur. In this case, we've also got a gunsmith, and so that space is back here. And what we don't yet have is a kiosk for 4473s to be completed. And we do have a waiver station that's here in proximity. So why is that in this location? Why is the rental counter shaped the way it is? These are all, it's both an art and a science, because there's functionality that occurs, as I mentioned, in mapping out the steps in this process. And so there's logistically things that have to happen. And then there's the kind of subconscious and the shopping experience that we will also want to foster and facilitate for our guests. And then the other side is the operations considerations that need to be accounted for. There's a balance between that retail experience for the guests and members versus the needs that staff has to maintain safety and also carry forward their standard operating procedures when they are engaging their staff. So this is a unique floor plan because it's a unique, here's an example, kind of just a boilerplate sort of drawing from one of the display manufacturers, and we've modified that and really put some intentionality to the length of these gondola displays, these aisles, how they're shaped, where they lead you. All those considerations are worth putting thought into. So the unique shape of this and all these adjacent uses and where they lead all need to be considered. And we haven't even touched on security from a theft prevention and break-in prevention perspective. But just a quick overview. Thought I'd share that one with you. And here's another showroom worth sharing. Just again, give you kind of a walkthrough perspective of these spaces, and this is kind of a unique retail alcove, if you will, very intentional. And yeah, so freestanding displays, slat walls, all need to be factored in and considered in this process.